Hey, Professor Virgil, we're back. This week we talked about emotions, stress, and emotional intelligence. I found it really reliable because I am literally balancing school, life, and work. So that's definitely bringing some stress. So definitely gave me a little bit more to talk about this week. If you see me looking, I'm looking at my notes, and let's get going. One thing that stood out to me was the breakdown of emotions. Emotions aren't just random feelings that just happen out of nowhere. They always have some type of causation to it. There's actually 3 parts that I found surprising. I didn't know emotions were broken up into 3 parts or just broken up in general. So first you have the subjective experience, which is basically how we feel it. Then you have the physical reaction. So say if something happens and you literally feel your heart rate going faster, things start tensing up, maybe even crying. That's the physical reaction. And then the behavioral response is how we actually express all of that. There's a difference between felt emotion and displayed emotion, which makes me think imagine you're at work and you're having to put on this fake smile, act like everything's all fine and dandy when it's not sometimes, because you feel your emotions. So that's basically called emotional labor. And doing that can lead to emotional dissonance, and which means our feelings and our expressions just don't match. We also looked at stress, which is something that we've all had experience with or dealt with primarily. Stress is basically it's basically how your body reacts to any kind of demand, good or bad. The cause of stress can be acute, which is short term. It could be episodic, which is happening regularly, or chronic, which is long lasting. I learned that work stress can come from things like consistently making decisions, multitasking, working in difficult work environments or multiple different work environments. Things that could also lead to stress outside of work are role conflict with responsibilities. It can clash over your role overload. When there's just too much stuff on your plate, you can just stress, literally stress. That felt very real to me because I deal with that type of stuff throughout my week to week, day to day. More so not, I will say, I guess it is defined as stress. Just having so much on my plate and trying to figure that out, that does stress me out. So it is classified as stress. The slides also mentioned desk rage, getting super irritated at work. And then it reminds me how stress, if not managed, can affect both your health and your mood. So just take care of yourself if you need to find an outlet for your stress, which we're about to get into that next. So what can we do about it? There's different ways and strategies for coping with stress, both individually and organizational. Individually, it's knowing about your stressors, checking in with others, and avoiding negativity. I also like that it mentioned both problem-focused and emotion-focused coping. Basically, either fixing the issue or learning how to manage how we feel about it. The presentation also touched on EQ and emotional intelligence, which is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions and others as well. I think building a strong EQ is very important, not just for managing stress of yourself and others, but also in leadership and teamwork environments, team-oriented environments, and it can also reflect well in how you communicate with others. So overall, this week reminded me how connected our emotions are and how we work and handle stress. It's a helpful reminder to just check in with yourself and just make sure you're good. Just be more aware of how to manage stress, or how I manage my own stress and the things that are stressing me out, especially when juggling different roles and having multiple things on my plate on a day-to-day basis. It's definitely something that was just like a wake-up call reality check. So definitely appreciate you for this unit. It's probably by far my favorite, week 3. I love anything mental health. So thank you for that, Dr. Virgil, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or week.